Hear ye, honorable lords and ladies of the land, I bid thee good day once more as we prepare ourselves to joust against the most fearsome opponents this land hath to offer. It is time once more for the lordly knight, Sir Memphis, to face down his foes and destroy them in the name of God and country. Huzzah! Yes, indeed, my lords and ladies, it is I, Sir Memphis, noble knight, adding to the Curry Kingdom, once more joining thee for the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! For which every day, for 100 days, we shall be dueling and jousting our opponents every single day. Today is the 95th day of the 100 days, and it shall indeed be my final performance upon this series. That is correct. It is the final duel that I shall be headlining here today. A bittersweet moment, to be certain. However, we have ourselves a mighty deck here, and I need to remind myself what this is called. There's a long name for this. It is a deep drawing Kaiju Horus Fiendsmith deck that was sent into us via the Lord Jun-Chan Luo. I think I said that right. Who knows? Anyway, so we have ourselves our deck here today. We shall be dueling in the olden Master Duel, showing off the combos and the olden wombos, what we shall and shall not be doing. And we shall be laying into our opponents with every card that we have at our disposal. And we are not being playing in the small leagues anymore. No. We are prepared to face down enemies in the higher tiers this time with our mighty deck. So, of course, we have our cards. And if thou wish to know the entire deck that we shall be using today, it shall be at the end of today's festivities. For now, do not forget to hit the like it, comment it, and subscription it buttons down below to join the ranks of the Curry Kingdom and join us on our glorious crusade in these final days of this series. So, with enough said, let us proceed into the first duel of the day. But it would seem that our rank off is set at some point. Well, regardless of that, doesn't matter. We are in the gold standard now, no longer in silver, and I shall be going second with today's deck, at least in this first duel. We would prefer to go first, of course, as we wish to lay our opponents low, but it's either way. So let us see what points of hand we have. A quite competent hand indeed. Quite indeed, this is the sort of hand that we would wish to have. So we shall see what my opponent does. The whole concept of our deck is, of course, that we wish to draw many cards with our Max C monster, which appears to be some sort of household vermin, and we shall be then summoning forth many creatures. We have the combination of cards we wish to have. We have our Waterfront card, which is quite useful. We have our Kaiju monster, and we have the Horus monster as well. So we have a little bit of everything we need for our hand. And we face off against the snake-eyed monsters, which we are using our maximum C monster here. That way, we shall draw a card every time my opponent special summons a monster. Very good. So thou might summon forth as many creatures as thou wish, but for everything thou summon, I shall be drawing. Let's see what this does. Very well. So we shall see what the snake-eyed monsters bring about. They look like fiendish little creatures indeed. Clearly some sort of demon. I couldn't call that anything else. What is this creature? Yep, that's a demon too. Yeah, you can't tell me it's not that. So now my opponent is left thinking, doth thou wish to continue their plays? For the more they play, the stronger our board shall become. So it's really a matter of, do they have the stomach for it? I personally don't believe that they do. They are not noble warriors of the Curry Kingdom, therefore they don't have the stomach for it. Shall see indeed, but I have my hand. We are quite good with it. I have my Horus monster, I have cards to discard with the cards. Very good. You know, I would actually wish my opponent would have the spine. The spine to summon forth more creatures, but I feel that they shan't, for they are cowardly and weak. Very well, so now it is our turn. Let's see what we draw into here. Alright. Well, normally this card would be good for my white Dustan creature, but I already have it, so there's no point in that. So let us go forth, discard two of our cards. We shall use the power of our Horus monsters here to search forth the Sarcophagus of Kings and draw another card. Quite good indeed. We shall activate our Kyoto Waterfront spell. This is quite important for our combination of cards. For whenever a card leaves the board, whether mine or my opponent's, this will gain counter cards. Basically, with every counter, I will be able to power up my giant turtle monster. And in this case, let's see here. That will get me a monster as well. That will also get me a monster. So what we're going to do is the following. We shall activate our Fiendsmith's Track spell card. With this, I add myself a monster from my deck to my hand, and then discard a card from my hand. This will summon forth my Luri monster, which is a fiendish little devil, but he won't be along for very long. He'll only be on the board temporarily. Very temporarily indeed. We shall summon forth our Luri monster. We shall activate the Sarcophagus of Kings twice here, so that way I can get all of the Horus monsters I desire into my graveyard. That is the whole nature of this deck. We use the Horus monsters to revive them every turn. That way we might summon forth the mighty Saryuja dragon. Which, yes, it's a dragon, I know. It is a dragon, but it's a dragon that is on our side. It is chained up. It will not harm the peasantry. It shall only harm this person. This person with their weak will and their weak stomach. If they'd only had the nerve, they could have summoned forth more creatures, but they didn't. Regardless, I shall summon forth mine Horus monsters, and I could simply destroy my opponent here and now, but I wish to show off everything this deck wishes to do. So, let us summon forth. Let's see here. Yes, summon forth our Saryuja dragon, using our 4 monsters with different names upon them. We shall summon forth our dragon here. This will, as well, put all the counters we need upon our spell, and then, when we get down to it, we'll summon forth our Gamma Seal. And this will be the ultimate conductor of our turn. And as you can tell, my deck is too much for my opponents to handle. Unfortunately, in testing, this has happened a lot. So, there may be quite a few duels like this, but you get the idea and the point. We are attempting to set forth our Horus monsters, summon forth our dragon, and summon forth the turtle to our board using the dragon. With all the counters on our field spell, we might remove it from play, my opponent's cards, and negate them. It is quite a devious tactic, and it is quite potent indeed. So, let us go forth into the second joust of the day. Hopefully we can find someone with a spine. One far more easily and more, satisfactorily broken than this fellow. Very well, my lords and ladies, it's time for the second joust of the day. Let us boldly stride forth and lay mine opponents low. He has a dragon on his side of the field, so clearly he's evil. That way, we have no qualms about destroying them. Very good indeed. So let us see. Shall we go in second again? That's quite all right. Once more, the Max Sea Monster is in my hand. I also have many other good cards here. So let's see. What does this do? Let's see. Reveal a monster, send a monster. Discard the revealed monster, add a monster. Very well. So you should be discarding cards to search cards. I see. You should be using the branded Devil Dragons. I see. Quite alright, quite alright. I mean, we have the Max Sea Monster. That seemed to work quite well to dissuade my opponents last time. So we shall see if that will work again for us here. So you see, more dragons indeed. Yes, yes. This will add the Fallen of Albaz or monster that mentions it. If I recall correctly, the Fallen of Albaz is some sort of dragon boy or something. Although that is itself a dragon. Very good, very good. I'm good with this because my opponent will summon dragons, and I, being a noble knight, like to slay dragons. Very good. So what is this doing now? Target a branded spell trap in the graveyard. I see. Let's see. Send a monster from the deck or the hand. Let's see. Which way will he set that monster? Or a branded spell trap. Hand or deck to the grave. I see what my opponent is attempting to do. He is going to use this card to send the branded spell fusion card. Well, I guess one of them. To the graveyard. And then, by using that trap card of theirs, they shall recover said trap card, or spell card, whatever. Very well. A semi-competent strategy. I suppose I could give them some credit for that. Not much, but a little bit. See, summoning monsters, including a monster that is a dragon, of course. Very good. So you shall be activating my infusion deployment, and I shall activate my max sea monster now. Now that you are prepared to special summon a monster, I shall be prepared to draw many a card. So, now my opponent, every time they doth summon a monster, I will get myself more cards. Let's see here. Well, we got the field spell, which is always good. Let's see. What is this creature doing? Allowing you to fusion summon some more. Very well. Quite alright. Quite alright indeed. I see no problems with this. Let's see. Banishing monsters from the grave if you use Albaz as material. I see. Which you clearly don't have. Alright, so you have forth a sanctified dragon. Let's see, what does this do? Target 2 monsters in any grave, summon 1 to either field, I see. And you wish to summon forth the Fallen of Albaz, so that might fuse with the monster that you summon to my field, I see. Quite alright indeed, but I am prepared to match that. So we shall activate our Ash Blossom creature. I shall not be allowing my opponent's dragons to summon forth more of their ilk in here. No, sir. I shan't. Very good. So what else are you going to do? Okay, you can get that back to your hand. I can't stop everything, but I can stop the more important things. Very good. So now it is our turn. So draw our card here. Let's see here. I shall activate my Kyoto Waterfront spell. That way, every card sent to the graveyard will give me more cards. Let's see here. How many spells do I only have so many spells on the grave? So, in that respect, I should be activating my Hornet Drone spell card. This will summon forth a token monster to my board. My opponent is prepared with his Sanctified Dragon, I suppose. Let's see, attribute 4 monsters, summoning this card very well. I don't think I need to worry about that other effect, but we shall see. We shall see indeed. So now that we have summoned forth 1 monster, let us summon forth another. Let's see. One issue with this deck is we have very few actual Skystriker cards that we can go into here. So I think the best thing to do would be to keep things rather simplistic. Indeed. We shall summon forth Hayate, the Skystriker monster, to our board. It can attack directly and send more cards to my graveyard. So my opponent will now be using his card to try to revive his Fallen of Albaz creature. Indeed, but this was all part of the strategy, of course. So we shall activate our Called by Grave spell to remove from play the Fallen of Albaz so it doesn't become a problem. Indeed. Did you think I would allow you to do this, sir? Get your filthy dragon boy out of my face. Alright, so having done that, we shall activate our Skystriker Mobilize spell now, and summon forth another card from our deck. In this case, we shall search forth our Mecha card, our Eagle Booster spell. Let's see here. Yes. We shall activate, again, our Eagle Booster. This isn't quite necessary so much as I wish to do it. It's one of those things. So we shall summon forth another one of our Skystriker monsters. This part of the deck is a little convoluted. However, essentially what this is going to allow me to do is to get less cards in my deck and more cards in my graveyard. This will now recover myself, my Mobilize spell. And with enough spells in my graveyard, I shall activate my Mobilize spell once more, search forth my Hornet bit once more, and draw another card on top of it all. Quite good indeed. Very good indeed. So now let's go forth with our Waterfront spell. So as I have 3 or more counters, I might search forth my Kaiju monster. And let me think. Do I have any other Link monsters I wish to summon forth? Yes, I do. I shall summon forth my Hornet bit once more. Quite good indeed. So now that we have summoned forth this creature, we shall summon forth another monster upon... Well, I can't summon another monster at the moment. I suppose I'll simply activate the Fusion Destiny spell instead. This will allow me to summon forth quite the beastly creature by sending 2 warriors to the grave, and my opponent surrenders to that. Every time with this deck, my opponents... I thought that there were stronger opponents on the Master Duel. I know I'm not in the Diamond rank or anything anymore, but this deck was in the Diamond rank, and this still was happening. So, it is quite unfortunate indeed that my opponents are simply too weak for this deck. What can I say? Regardless, let us go forth into a third joust. We need to find an opponent with a spine to be broken, otherwise we cannot satiate King Karibo's lust for bloodshed on the field of glory. And the Lord above, who also likes to watch this happen on occasion. So regardless, let us go forth into the third joust. Verily, my lords and ladies, welcome to the third joust of the day, the fighting joust indeed. And thus far, my opponents have been quite weak, but this time we are going first, so it'll be a little different here. Just a little different. So let us summon forth our Planetary Pathfinder monster. It's quite a good card, for it shall search forth mine field spells. Granted, they have used their Max C card. Let's see. I could play into their card, that is true. Or I could not do that. Let us not. I don't need to worry about that sort of thing. I shall set forth mine field spell and simply end my turn. On my next turn, I might use the next strategy in my deck. For what, we have summoned forth our Horus creatures, and we have summoned forth the Skystrikers, and we have attempted to summon forth our Kaiju monster. We have yet to summon forth our mighty Fiendsmith cards as well. Alright, so what is this opponent going to be doing? I should be activating mine own Max C card. What say thee to that? That's what I thought. See, turnabout being fair play, sir. Alright, so this will send forth one of your blue-eyed dragons to the graveyard, I see. Alright. Oh, so thou shalt have a spine to be broken. Well, a dragon that wishes its spine broken, don't mind if I yes. Very well, so this will be fusion summoning. What exactly? Tyrannical dragon, you say? Very well. What does it do? Unaffected by trap cards, can attack all monsters. And it can target a trap in the grave and set it. Well, there are no traps in the graveyard. Very well! Quite good indeed. I am applauding this. But my opponent is finally one who I can destroy without any qualms whatsoever. Let's see here. Let's see here. I shall activate mine unexpected die spell. But I have mine Horus cards in reserve, but for now we shall use our unexpected die spell. Yes. This will summon forth the mighty white Duston monster, the proudest of all Duston monsters. And what can my opponent do? They can simply watch as I summon forth the Fiendsmith's Requiem, which I'm not entirely sure what this creature is supposed to be. It's some sort of screaming tombstone or something. At least I think that's what it is. Regardless, I shall activate my waterfront spell. One important thing to note with our waterfront spell, while I can give my opponent the Kaiju monster, that is the worst thing one could possibly do in this deck. For if I give my opponent this monster, they can use mine field spell, and I don't want them to do that. So, to summon forth our Fiendsmith's Engraver monster in attack mode. With which, I shall summon this creature forth and equip him with the Requiem spell. Which is now a spell. It was a monster, now it is a spell card. It's a little confusing there, but basically, I can equip my Link monster onto the Engraver monster, and then once per turn, I can remove that card to send one of my opponent's cards straight to the graveyard, slaying the dragon right where it stands. Quite good indeed. Alright, so with that said, we shall also be using our Sarcophagus of Kings, because I've summoned forth one monster to lay my opponent low, but the more the merrier, I say. The more the merrier indeed. And with any luck, let's see. It doesn't really matter who I'm sending to mine graveyard at the moment, I don't think. I simply wish to summon forth mine Gamma Seal monster. Let's see. Yes. Simply sending all of the Horus monsters to our graveyard so that we might use them again. Quite good indeed. Alright, so set forth. We'll keep him Seti monster in our hand, or in our deck, I should say, simply because if I need to search forth another Sarcophagus of Kings, I'd rather have more options to get that. So, let us summon forth all of our Horus monsters, as we like to do. And this way I can go forth into our ultimate combination, which is to summon forth the Gamma Seal monster, which, true to form, I could not do that. Oh. Perhaps you have something else. Let's say the True Light Trap card. This will set a card from my deck, you say. Very well. Mayhaps I should attack my opponent instead. That would simply be the end of the duel, however. So let us battle into mine opponent first. We shall not use the Sarcophagus of Kings here. And we shall simply lay my opponent low. And I could simply end the duel here. But I'd rather not. Solely because, well, I could do that. And certainly that is what one would typically do. I wish to summon forth all the cards in our deck. So that's what we're going to do. We shall summon forth the mighty Skull Dread monster. It shall draw me 4 cards and place 3 cards back into our deck. Anything that we don't need, we shall be placing back into the deck. And this will be quite good indeed. So let us activate our Called by the Grave spell, because I know this has an effect, and I don't want him to get it. Very good. And what is activating in my grave right now? Oh yes, mine engraver. I could summon him back if I wish to, but we'll do that later. But for now, though, we shall summon forth our Gamma Seal monster in defense mode, though it has much more defense than offense, even though it shall be getting a boost in its defense. Let's see here. We shall save the engraver for our next turn. For now, we are quite good. Quite good indeed, for I have Mine Turtle, and its ability to negate 2 cards. I remove 2 counters to negate and banish a card. Any card, again, sent to the graveyard will simply activate more counters upon our card. Let's see here. No. I shall not be allowing you to do that, sir. Nope. No trap card for thee. So it'll stop my opponent's trap card. And they may think that they are safe here. However, they are quite mistaken on that mistake. That mistake of theirs will cost them quite greatly. For this is not in any way a once per turn effect. Let's see, what did they send to their graveyard? Nothing important. Very well, but that will be the end of this joust for certain. At least my opponent this time put up a bit of a fight. I mean, that's what I like to see from a dragon. I like to put in the efforts, of course, of course. Don't want it to be easy or anything. But there you go for our 3rd joust. And let us see for... let us go forth for one more joust of the day. We've shown off a lot of what the deck is trying to do, but there's still more to do. Well, to be fair, we haven't really shown off much because my opponents were weak and pathetic little mewling babes. But we'll attempt one more joust regardless. Verily, my lords and ladies, welcome me to the 4th and final joust of the day. Our hand looks quite good indeed, and we have once more the maximum C card, so I would say quite good for us. So what is my opponent going to do? See, I see they have no extra deck. Could this be the deck of kings, perhaps? Which I think is one of the most foolish decks in all of this game. But it doesn't have a card related to King Karibo. Or the Lord above, for that matter. So why would you call it the Monarchs when there's not a real king amongst them? Truly. So now what my opponent is doing... Yes, they've set 2 cards. I see your 2 cards, sir. There are 2 of them. Now there's a 3rd of them. When the opponent plays 2 cards, it means they're up to something. When they play a 3rd, it means they're up to something more. What is this? Let's see. Ignis Key Draco Warrior, I see. So you're playing with dragons. Or perhaps you're a dragon slayer. Hard to say. It's difficult to say. They look like they could slay a dragon, but they also dress like one. I don't agree with that too much. Let's see. What are you going to do? Very well. Using thine heritage of Draco monsters. Interesting enough. This will allow you to tribute summoning a monster. Okay, so this is a deck about tribute summons. Clearly. They also seem to be playing... Let's see, what does this card do? Monster is on the field. Negates effects until it was special summoned. I see. What does this card do? Unaffected effects of cards of the same type as the card types as this card's tribute summoning. If you control this card, you can banish a continuous spell trap, target a card, and destroy it. I see. That is certainly not great. We shall see. So it's immune to spells and it's immune to monsters. I do have mine Horus cards, but it might be a bit difficult to get them on the board with this. Let's see, because he does have a card to remove his play, so we shall see where this shall go. We shall activate our Kyoto Waterfront spell. And it could be risky, but I could, theoretically at least, use this to get my Kaiju upon my opponent's board. I would have to be perfect with my timing, however, so we shall see where this will go. We shall see. But yes, he has his masterpiece, True Draco Slaying King. It's a shame that people that should be on the same side must sometimes fight each other. For this gentleman is clearly someone I should get along with. If they are a true Draco Slaying King, therefore, they are a noble sort. A truly noble sort indeed, who would slay a dragon. So what are you going to do, King of Dragon Slayers? You only have one card that you can do with that. So let us activate our Unexpected Die spell. Very good. This will allow me to summon forth a monster from my deck. And this will be where things get a little difficult here for us. Because I need to get rid of his monster, but I also need to put a monster on the field that's stronger than his monster. It'll be quite a challenge, I think. But I think I am up for the challenge, because I just realized what I need to do. Quite good. Quite good indeed. So we shall summon forth our Fiendsmith's Requiem monster. That will place more counters upon our field spell. And you have your, yes, you have your masterpiece, of course, of course, of course. Of course I do. Of course I do. At any point, he will do something. I mean, the answer is the face down card, I suppose. He does have two cards. He has the masterpiece and whatever this is. We don't yet know what the face down card is, so there's no point worrying about it too much. And thou shalt use your card immediately. Targeting a card and destroying it. I see. Well, unfortunately, my lord, you have made a grave error. My monster has a quick effect. So even if this is something that can stop my Requiem monster, which I truly believe is not the case, you are quite a fool for playing that. You should have saved that for something more important. But that's neither here nor there. Clearly, you were up against someone not playing dragons, therefore you didn't know what to do with yourself. So we shall activate our Fiendsmith's Requiem here, equipping it upon my monster. So the one thing I will be making sure of, I don't want to have to deal, let's see, target a Fiendsmith equip and a monster on the, well, I can't get rid of that monster, can I? So in that case, let us go forth for our Horus monsters. Quite good indeed. And even if this trap does do something, this is still better than anything else we have at the moment. So that's what we're going to do. So send forth our Horus monsters in mass. And that way, let's see. Oh, right. We're going to use the Horus spell again. Yes, we shall get all of our Horus monsters upon the board. And my opponent will be left wondering why they made such a foolish mistake. Because if they had saved it for my Sarcophagus of Kings, I might have been in some form of difficulty. But now I have a monster upon my board that is stronger than theirs. Therefore, they're quite in trouble, quite a bit in trouble. So, let's summon forth our many monsters. Very well. Let's see here. You still have something. I do need to be somewhat cautious here. We don't yet know what my opponent's set card is. Although I would imagine if it was something dangerous, then they would have done that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. The True Draco Apocalypse, you say. What does it do? Target a true king, destroying it, and halving the attack of mine creatures. I see. Well, thankfully, I kept in the graveyard the monster that has the most attack points. So it really didn't matter that you did that, sir. Well, I must say, this apparently my opponent, as competent they may be, allegedly, at slaying dragons, they're not quite as competent at destroying anything else. So, let us lay into my opponent with all of my monsters. Is that enough to end the duel? I somewhat hope not. I'd rather do once more my Gamma Seal monster. Let's see, is that enough damage? Nope. Quite good, actually. I'm actually quite pleased with the fact that that wasn't enough to end the duel, because I want to do more things. So, we shall summon forth yet another creature. And let's see here. I can summon many creatures. There are many cards that we might use here. So let's go ahead and use our 4 cards here. Send everything to our Yard of Graves for the Kaiju Dragon. A bit ironic that a Slayer of Dragon Kings is not on the board anymore. And he wasn't here for the slaying of this dragon. Let's see here. I'm going to keep that card, actually. I don't think my opponent will be special summoning many cards. So I think this is the best thing we can do. We shall use the Sarcophagus of Kings here, discarding our Metal Foe Fusion spell, which is a card we can't actually play, which is a bit of an odd thing to do in this deck. However, I can return it to my deck to draw another card, and one of those cards is my Triple Tactical Talent spell to draw 2 more cards from my deck. Quite good indeed. So let us use our Skull Dread Monsters effect, finally summoning forth our Giant Turtle, and that ought to be all I need to do. My opponent doesn't have any cards left, so just in case, we shall summon forth this Horus monster, whose name I cannot pronounce, and let's see, let us also summon forth our Engraver, why not? So return the proudest one to the deck, and summon this creature forth. So that ought to be all we need to really do with this deck here. I don't see my opponent having anything else that can potentially stop me. So, we're quite good. Quite good. I will say, Slayer of Dragons, quite an unfortunate situation for yourself. You played your cards far too early. Far too early. I guess you're getting up in years. You can't hold it back as well. That is something that happens to older men, that's true. But it's neither here nor there. So, let's see here. What is this doing again? Yes, I shall be negating your card. I shall remove my encounters from my card, and your card shall be banished. Banished forever, the heritage of the True Dracos lost to history. Quite sad, quite sad. But that is all that I will need to do. There's nothing more my opponent will be able to do here. But they have no other cards. They have no monsters upon their board. The only card they have left is this trap card, which can't do anything. So that will be the conclusion of this duel here. As soon as I allow it, of course. I mean, I can still do other things. That's quite the thing, isn't it? Because if we're going to have our final joust of the 100 days here, I must do more. Therefore, I shall summon forth my Vert Anaconda creature, which is... I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to be, but it is something. So we shall go ahead and summon forth another monster from our deck, using our Fusion Destiny spell. And this time, my opponent will hopefully allow this to summon forth to the board. So we shall summon forth the Destroying Phoenix Enforcer. Quite the powerful creature in of itself. And that ought to be enough here. So we shall battle with our turtle for the final victory of these 100 days. And I thank thee, my lords and ladies, for joining me today. Let us proceed into the end of screen to talk more about this deck. Verily, my lords and ladies, I welcome thee to our Fiendsmith's Kaiju Horus Skystriker deepdraw deck, which went uncontested against mine opponent, somewhat disappointingly, to be honest. I was truly hoping, once we got out of the silver rankings, and yes, I was stuck back to gold, but that's regardless, I was hoping for better opponents today. But regardless, we were able to do everything this deck wishes to do. We summoned forth our Kaiju monster, our Horus monsters. We summoned forth the Maximum Cockroach monster. We summoned forth our Fusion monster. We summoned forth our Sky Striker monsters. There's very little else we could have done with this deck except for a couple other monsters that could have been summoned forth, but is irrelevant. For our deck was uncontested, its power unparalleled, and in the name of God and country, we earned ourselves victory. So, thank thee, my lords and ladies, for joining us for the 95th day of the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! If thou wish to join us, do not forget to hit the like-it, comment-it, and subscription-it button to join the ranks of the Curry Kingdom. It's very important to do, but if you're not on the side of the Curry Kingdom, then you're going to be like mine opponents today, incompetent. Therefore, I thank thee once more for joining us today. Here is the list of cards for today's deck. Take it forth in the name of the king and win yourselves victory. So for our main deck, we have one copy of the White Duston, one of the Fabled Lurry Monster, two of the Maximum Cockroach Monster, 3 copies of the Ash Blossom Little Spirit Girl, 3 copies of the Planet Pathfinder Chariot, 1 copy of the Destiny Hero Celestial and 1 of the Dasher, 2 copies of the Fiendsmith's Engraver Monster, 2 of the very important Gamma Seal Monster. We have the Horus monsters being 3 copies of Im Seti, 1 copy of Duama Du. We have 1 copy of Hapai, and 1 copy of the monster whose name cannot be pronounced by mortal man. 1 copy of Monsters Reborn, 1 copy of the Pot of Avarice, 3 unexpected die spells, 1 metal foe fusion, 2 copies of the Skystrikers Engage, 1 copy. Oh no, there's 3 of them. One has different artwork for some reason. So yes, 3 of that card. 1 copy of the Fusion Destiny spell, 1 triple tactical spell, 1 Fiendsmith's track spell, 3 copies of our Kyoto Waterfront. We have ourselves the King Sarcophagus, 2 copies of the Call of Graves, 3 copies of the Hornet Bit spell, and 1 of the Eagle Booster spell. As for our extra deck, we have things like our 1 Lacrima of Fiendsmith, 1 Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, 1 Coach King Giant Trainer, which is clearly a heretic because he's training dragon giants and things of that nature. We have ourselves our 3 Skystriker Ace monsters, being Kagari, Hayate, and Kaina. We have our Fiendsmith's Requiem, our Verte Anaconda. We have our Little Knight. We have our, what is this card? The Closed Moon Monster. Our Fiendsmith's Sequence. Saryuja Dragon. Another dragon called the Boral Sword Dragon. Quite the pointy one, this one. Indeed. We have, okay, let me see if I can pronounce this one. Apollosa, Bow of the Goddess, which is clearly a heathen monster. And then lastly, we have the Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. I guess this is the bow of this goddess or something. Regardless, thank thee once more, my lords and ladies. It has been a most wonderful time these past 100 days, and I, Sir Memphis, Noble Knight of the Curry Kingdom, have been glad to join thee for these jousts and these duels, and I hope that thou did enjoy them. I shall see thee again in the future. I shall see thee once more these 100 days, and until next time, I bid thee all a fond farewell, my lords and ladies.